Hey guys, I'm Shawn Lynn and welcome to my studio, The Sophisticated Fox. Hey friends, and welcome back to the Sophisticated Fox studio. It has been a hot minute since we have been in here with an update, and it looks much different than it did the last time you saw it. So I thought I'd kind of bring you guys up to speed today with the haps out here. The last image of my studio that you saw, we had the rough electrical in. They mapped out all of my outlets exactly where I wanted them. I decided on my ceiling lighting, which is basically going to be what I have now. They're 4-foot fluorescents. It's very bright in here. But I'm also going to be adding a ceiling fan to the center with a remote. I don't have that right now, but that's not a big deal because it's on the ceiling. That can be the last thing wired in. We have a spot for it. That's all that matters. Now for the outside, I grabbed a simple carriage house style light to put out there, nothing fancy. My first choice, of course, was the most expensive one they have there because that's always how my taste gravitates. Without ever seeing the price, you can guarantee I am going to gravitate to the most expensive thing in the room because that's what catches my eye. It's irritating, but I settled on a classic design that I'm very happy with, and they have the outdoor outlets also installed. That's very important for two reasons. One, so I can do some work out there, sanding, sawing, whatever the case may be. But two, decorations. We're gonna need outdoor lights, maybe a patio out there, Christmas lights. Gotta have an outdoor outlet, so that is also in. Scott insulated the ceiling and then got real busy in our auto body shop. So things kind of stalled out for a while. We're doing this on our own, trying to save some money, which I'll give you the breakdown of that in a little bit. We're still saving a lot, but we have spent a lot. So Scott did the ceiling and it kind of was at a standstill. Just a few days ago, I finally said, you know what? I'm gonna put the insulation in myself. So I came out here and I insulated all of the walls and the peaks all by myself. Very proud moment. I was up on the staging, and at first I was a little bit nervous of the staging because it's a little bit wobbly, but by the time I was done, I was a pro going up and down like it was nothing. It took me 8 hours. I did 6 hours one day, 2 hours the next day, and finished it all off. We just went last night and we picked up 22 sheets of sheetrock, plus all the mud, seam tape, everything that you need to get the drywall up. And my drywall guy is actually going to come tomorrow and put it all up, which I am very, very, very excited for. But kind of at the same time, I'm a little bit sad because once that drywall goes up, the rustic charm of this old barn is gone. But you know me. I'm gonna bring it back somehow. My heating system is in, and what it is basically a mini split, but it's not so mini. Because this is a freestanding 4 outside wall building, I need to be able to efficiently maintain a temperature out in this studio. It's going to be a working studio. I'm going to have paint. It will not be able to freeze. I need to keep the temperature at a minimum at 50 degrees all through the winter. So we kind of had to bump up the mini split, of course, to one that had a higher capability of sustaining this outdoor building in an efficient manner, because there's nothing worse than wasted electricity and paying way too much with a machine that's struggling to constantly keep the temperatures. I live in New England. We can have -15 one day and the next day it can be 50. The weather is wacky, and knowing that I have the proper heating system in here that's going to keep my studio and everything in it warm and toasty, or cool in the summertime because it is also an AC unit, is very exciting. We've had the heating unit for 3 weeks now, but that cannot go in until the drywall is up. So everything is hinging on Teddy, our drywall guy, who's coming tomorrow. And then once he's done, all of this is going to move super fast, because when the heating system goes in, I can come out and get in here. It's not going to be finished. It's not going to be all done up and beautiful. I'm coming in to do all of the indoor elements, but I need a heating system to do that because it is pretty chilly out here. I'm not gonna lie, it's very cold right now. The wind is blowing and it is a very raw March day. Now, so far, I just want to give you a rough breakdown and full transparency of the cost of this studio, because it surpassed what I thought and what Scott thought. We both had no idea what we were in for with this build, and it turned out to be pretty mammoth. So the rough expenses for the flooring, the insulation, the dry rock, and everything that you need to put all of that in, staples, screws, all of that were in for roughly $5,000. I think it's just actually under $5,000 by a couple hundred, but that's no pocket change. That's quite a big expense right there. Now, the heating system alone, because we had to bump it up to be one that could efficiently keep this building going, is $8,000 on its own, not counting the install. But because we know a lot of people and because we have a business, Scott's actually doing a partial barter for our heating system. So it'll be about $4,500 out of our pocket for the system and the install, and the guy's gonna get a custom paint job on his truck. I'm all for bartering whenever it can be done. I think it's a great way to get things done in an economy where things cost so much money. The electrical, I don't know what that's going to be. That's also one of Scott's really good friends who, this is his business. He's doing it for us, so we expect kind of, you know, a little break, but at the same time, I'm kind of thinking it's gonna come in somewhere around $5,000, give or take. And it quite possibly could be a give. So all in, not counting the finishing details to everything that needs to be done, we're already looking at around $15,000 out of our pockets. And I know that that seems like a lot, and it is a lot, but we also saved a lot. We ended up spending a couple $1,000s buying the insulation and doing it ourselves, when the quote that we had for somebody coming in to do this for us came in at $4,000. So we saved the money doing it ourselves, but there are just some things you just can't cut. And to turn this into what I need, it's gonna take a little bit of money, so that's why it's been piecemeal here and there, if you will. But we're really on the home stretch now, which is super, super exciting. Now, for some fun stuff. This is my little dream folder filled with ideas. I have my mood boards that I have been pulling aside and putting together for ideas that I have that I want to do in this space. This is my master to-do. I am keeping track of everything that needs to be done, everything that's been done, everything that's in the works, what do I need to get, and more importantly, decisions that I actually really need to make. And I really need to make some decisions now. I also took the time out for myself to map out the electrical. Just kind of gives me a sense of comfort knowing where all of the electrical lines are. And then I'm kind of toying around with how I want things to look. And I'm just kind of rough sketching the ideas as they come to me. And one of the ideas that came to me was, how can I take this wide open box space and make it actually feel like it has a separate room or a separate space that I can work in without making it feel too boxy. And I think I came up with an amazing idea and an amazing plan. I was looking on Facebook Marketplace and I came across 4 sets of louver over louver doors. Each set is 2 feet long, so the 4 sets make an 8-foot section. And I had an idea of how I can create a wall using 4 feet and 4 feet, almost like a corner in the middle of the room. I would connect this to the floor, and I would also add support out from this L to the walls, to which I would like to be able to add some type of a curtain that I can pull back and keep open as I need to work and want light in. And I think it's going to work, but I came out with my tape and my tape measure, and what I actually want to do is put where I think I want to do this, and how boxy is this going to make it feel, and will I actually have enough room in this little spot? These are all the fun things that I am trying to think of now to utilize this space in the best way that I can, because I don't ever want to feel claustrophobic, like everything's closing in on me. I want this to be a place that fosters that creativeness that I can come out to get away from everybody even, and just chill with myself and my projects and just let the creativity flow. There's my little update. I'm gonna measure from my walls and see if this plan is going to work, and I think they're gonna work just great, but we need to measure and see. Mark out the stud. And then my thought, this stud. That's a decent size area that leaves over here, but I want to see 4 feet. I think that partition idea is going to work fabulous. It's going to divide the space up without making it closed in, giving me my little work area, and yeah, I think it's gonna work. Now I just have to learn how to make a wall. Piece of cake.